Two girls on a winter evening, same red gloves, shared coat sleeves. Big sister holds the pennies.
The Grimes sisters, the night Chicago lost its innocence. Chicago was quiet that night, but not peacefully quiet. It was the kind of quiet that waits. Snow clung to the sidewalks like a warning. Streetlights flickered, buses hissed, and somewhere in the distance, a radio played Elvis Presley's voice, smooth and hopeful, cutting through the cold. Two girls laughed as they walked into a movie theater on the south side of the city. This is the story of Barbara and Patricia Grimes, two sisters whose disappearance shattered a city's sense of safety and left behind one of America's most chilling unsolved mysteries. I'm Mr. Vanny. Welcome to our channel, Crime Chronicle 1.
Names that Chicago should have known. Love me tender.
Barbara Grimes was 15 years, tall for her age, confident, protective, and already stepping into adulthood. Patricia was 12 years, softer, playful, still holding on to childhood. To those who knew them, the Grimes sisters were inseparable. Where one went, the other followed. They lived with their parents and siblings in McKinley Park, a working-class neighborhood where doors were left unlocked and children walked home after dark without fear. It was December 28, 1956, the Christmas decorations still glowing faintly in windows, when Barbara and Patricia asked their mother for permission to go to the movies. They were going to see Love Me Tender, starring Elvis Presley again. It would be the 11th time. Their mother, Loretta Grimes, agreed on one condition: be home before midnight. The girls left the house around 7:30 p.m. Bundled against the cold, carrying about $2.50, with a little extra tucked into Barbara's wallet just in case they stayed for a second showing. They had made this walk many times before. The Brighton Theater was only a mile and a half away. Nothing about this night felt dangerous. Everything felt normal. Inside the Brighton Theater, the sisters were spotted by friends laughing, chatting, standing in line for popcorn during intermission. A classmate, Dorothy Weiner, remembered them clearly. They seemed happy, normal, safe. They stayed for the second showing, meaning they wouldn't leave until nearly 11:45 p.m. That's when the night began to fracture into questions. No one can say with certainty how Barbara and Patricia left the theater. Some witnesses said they boarded a bus. Others claimed they walked. Several teenagers later told police they saw the sisters talking to a young man, handsome. Dark hair bore an uncanny resemblance to Elvis Presley himself. Some said the girls entered a Mercury car. Others said they laughed it off and kept walking. At home, Loretta Grimes watched the clock. Midnight passed, then 12:15, then 12:30. She sent Barbara's older sister and younger brother to the bus stop. 3 buses came and went. No Barbara, no Patricia. By 2:15 a.m., Loretta made the call that would change her life for reporting her daughters missing to the Chicago Police Department. At first, police were dismissive. Runaways, they said. Girls chasing excitement. Elvis fans who'd gotten carried away. But Loretta knew her daughters. They wouldn't run away, she insisted. They promised me. By daylight, Chicago was gripped with fear. Hundreds of officers flooded the streets. Volunteers knocked on doors. Rivers and canals were dredged. Over 15,000 flyers were distributed. Churches offered rewards. Radio stations broadcast pleas. By the end of the investigation, 300,000 people would be questioned. And still nothing. Sightings poured in. To many, the girls were reportedly seen on buses, in restaurants, in department stores, on trains, even as far as Nashville, Tennessee. Some witnesses were confident, others unsure. Police chased every lead, only to hit dead ends. Were the girls alive or already dead? Elvis speaks. On January 19, 1957, something unprecedented happened. Elvis Presley himself issued a televised and radio plea from Graceland. If you are good Presley fans, he said, we'll go home and ease your mother's worries. Chicago held its breath. The girls did not come home. 3 days later, on January 22nd, a construction worker named Leonard Prescott drove down a desolate road in Willow Springs, just outside Chicago. Snow was melting after weeks of bitter cold. Behind a guardrail, something caught his eye. At first, he thought they were mannequins. When he returned with his wife, she collapsed at the sight. The bodies of Barbara and Patricia Grimes lay frozen, nude, discarded like objects, behind a rail overlooking Devil's Creek. One sister lay partially over the other, as if in a final act of protection. Chicago screamed. Their mother Loretta, couldn't hold back her pain and grief. The entire family was gripped with fear, confusion and pain of losing two members of the family in such an unprecedented manner. The autopsies only deepened the mystery. No clear cause of death, no lethal wounds, no drugs, no alcohol. The official ruling remains secondary shock and exposure. Yet there were bruises, puncture wounds, evidence suggesting Barbara may have been sexually active near the time of death. Some experts believed the girls died within 5 hours of leaving the theater. Others insisted they were alive for weeks. Even the pathologists disagreed. The girls' clothing was never found. Their bodies were strangely clean, and the crime scene trampled by volunteers yielded no usable evidence. Suspects' confessions collapsed. Men came forward. Some confessed. Most recanted. Edward Benny Bedwell, a drifter who looked like Elvis, gave a detailed confession, then withdrew it, claiming coercion. His timeline didn't match the evidence. He had alibis. Charges were dropped. A teenager named Max Fleeg allegedly confessed during an unofficial polygraph, yet police had no evidence to hold him. A self-proclaimed psychic predicted where the bodies would be found close, but not close enough. Everyone was suspicious. No one was convicted. The echo that never faded. Years passed. Leads dried up. Witnesses died. Evidence vanished. The Grimes sisters became legends, symbols of lost innocence. Parents walked their children closer. Doors were locked tighter. Chicago changed, and their mother, Loretta, never stopped believing that someone knew the truth. Someone always does. Reflection on this story. Barbara and Patricia Grimes went to see a movie. They never came home. Their story isn't just about murder, it's about uncertainty, fear, and the unbearable weight of not knowing. More than 60 years later, the case remains cold, but the questions remain burning. Who took them? Why were they discarded? And how did an entire city lose to girls without ever finding justice? Until those answers are found, the night of December 28, 1956, will never truly end. But the fact that two girls can walk into a movie theater laughing, dreaming, planning their lives and simply vanish without the world ever finding out who took them. Someone out there knows what happened to Barbara and Patricia Grimes. Someone has always known. And until the truth is spoken, this case remains more than a cold file. It's a reminder of how fragile safety really is, and how easily innocence can be stolen. We strongly believe that you may have a clue or an answer to our long-asked questions. Number 1. If this case happened today, do you believe it would still go unsolved? And why? Number 2. Which reported sighting do you find the most believable in? Which one feels staged or false to you? Thank you for watching. If this crime story moved you, if you believe these girls deserve answers, because every unsolved case deserves to be told, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop your insights or answer in the comments. Together, we keep their memories alive in the search for truth alive. Until next story, stay curious and stay vigilant.